In a little less than 3 hours, the jury in the David Bowen murder trial returns a guilty verdict. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Templeman. That decision was handed down less than an hour ago. KEZI 9 News reporter Na Nguyen was there as the judge read through it. She is now live with the details in our top story tonight here at 6. Na?
The jury has spoken, and David Bowen is guilty on all 3 charges: intentional murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Inside the courtroom, I saw David Bowen show little emotion, but Tammy Borda's friends and family burst into tears at the news. All this just hours after both sides presented their closing arguments. Both the prosecution and the defense each spent about an hour this morning arguing their case. Prosecutor Joanne Miller says Bowen used the 2 weeks hiding what happened to come up with his defense. And she says he tried to manipulate the jurors' feelings with his indirect answers on the stand. She says he made a conscious choice to move the body.
Move the body, you were defending yourself. Wouldn't you want to preserve that evidence? Why in the world would you be moving that body around, wrapping it in tarp and dragging it off into the woods? You wouldn't. That's absurd.
Defense attorney Mark Friedman says he couldn't argue that Bowen hadn't tampered with evidence or that he didn't abuse Borda's corpse. He says those things did happen, and they were poor decisions, but not the evidence the state needed to present or what the jurors should take into account to determine the murder charge.
But this conduct was and is independent of any homicide. David Bowen is responsible for Tammy's death, but not her murder.
Friedman also brought into question the quality of the investigation. He says investigators worked from the beginning to prove intentional murder instead of the truth, what actually happened. But despite those questions posed by the defense, it's clear, or at least to the jurors, that the evidence presented by the prosecution proved to them beyond a reasonable doubt that the death of Tammy Borda at David Bowen's hands was no accident. So the verdict is in, but things aren't over just yet. Court will reconvene on Friday for sentencing. Live in Eugene, Na Nguyen, KEZI 9 News.